Yeah, okay. Tell us about the opening. How much were you surprised by bishop b4?
Well, I honestly, it felt like a bit of a betrayal because Georg is a Rubinstein player. He played, like, if you include online, like thousands of Rubinsteins, including a number against me. And we just thought if knight f6 happens, it happens. We cannot really dedicate any time to it because it's unlikely compared to what he normally does. And even in knight f6, this is probably the position I've looked at the least in my entire life. So I knew more or less nothing starting from here. And it's not a pleasant situation because I understand, if this was excellent for black, probably everybody would be playing it. But you still need to make moves. And I just decided to be practical because like even in this position, you can probably start thinking for ages. But I thought, okay, rook b3, a3 looks promising. Let's just play it and figure it out from there. And
yeah, rook c3 was the moment when Georg started to think.
Yeah, because apparently machines give c4 with a large advantage. But since he went for this line, you have to assume that he knows how, at great depth, I guess this is somehow holdable. And I have no idea how. I didn't ask, but the assumption has to be he didn't go for this line to just lose, if I know theory. So there must be something there. And I also, I calculated a very beautiful line. I almost played rook g3 because rook g3 is the second move he considered, he told me.
That was Jan's try.
Yeah, and I calculated a very long, very beautiful line there. I almost played it, and then I realized what the refutation was. I think he goes a6, bishop a4, b5, bishop b3, knight f8. I think this is the... otherwise, I don't really understand how black is holding. And here I was planning to go rook g7, knight a6, and knight f6 check, bishop takes f6, ef. And I think I'm better after both knight g7 and after knight d4, bishop f7, I might be winning even, because I think bishop d5 next move is extremely strong. Like king d8, I just go bishop d5, rook b8, and let's say rook he1. And I mean, I'm completely dominating here. I had a feeling this is close to winning. And I honestly, my hand was above the board to go for this, and then I realized this is not checkers, and you can play king f8 in this position, which is a bit regrettable. Maybe I still make a draw after bishop e6, king g7, and bishop d5 or something like this, but I'm no longer playing for a win. So I went back to the drawing board a bit. And rook c3 is interesting, but I suspect it should be a draw. I don't know if black has anything better than what he did. And he thought for like 15 minutes here. And at first I was just, okay, some time to walk around, look at the open, because bishop a5 I thought was absolutely the only move. And then after he thought for more than 20 minutes, I thought there must be something that he doesn't like after bishop a5. And I realized that there are those incredibly romantic ideas of playing like rook e1 or even maybe the immediate e6 is possible. But I just couldn't believe in this. Like after e6, fe, rook e1. Like if it was a blitz game, I would probably play this because it's fun, and if it comes off, you look like a genius. But there's like 5 moves here you need to calculate, and if you make a mistake somewhere, you're probably losing now. It's not going to be a draw anymore. You probably have just lost, but might be playable. I couldn't really refute it. I just couldn't trust myself that I will calculate this properly. And the point is obviously that, well, here I guess he can take and rook king d8. This is ridiculous, right?
Yeah, I don't see the threat there.
Yeah. So, and he told me he was calculating the immediate rook e1. So yeah, this is some kind of, and he was planning to go a6, and if I go e6, he can take on b5, and if I go bishop a4. The point is now he can probably just take on c3 and go castles. Knight c7, rook b8, and bishop a7 still captures this rook, but it's no longer taking the pawn. It's very important for black that the pawn is now on a6 and it's alive. So yeah, it's a mess, but it was difficult for me to convince myself this is working. And also, it looked to me like after knight c7, what we had in the game is best play. I think he obviously has to take. I think he has to go king d8. I think he has to go knight f8 here. I don't know.
Yeah, we had the same idea, and the question was basically you reached this position, that how to evaluate this. What was your feeling?
Well, at first I thought this has to be just completely equal. First of all, it took me a while to find bishop c5. I was very unhappy about things until I found bishop c5, because otherwise I think black might start playing for a win. And then I got here, and I thought, okay, we'll just play g3 and it'll be a draw. And then I spotted this idea that I can still continue because the king is not entirely safe. And
Did he had some bishop c6, king c7?
Yeah,
way
but
to go then?
but then actually, if you look at this position, I think the f5 pawn is dead. Because rook g4, rook f1, I think there's no comfortable way of protecting the f5 pawn. And yeah, I suspect you can still maybe make a draw here, but it's not going to be enjoyable. And I mean, obviously I should go for this, as long as, if this is the position I'm getting, I'm extremely happy and I will continue playing, because this is why rook d1 is important. And
what was the difference between the rook d1 or king e3?
I think there is a slight difference there. Like if I go king e3 here, I think this might become better now, because the rook doesn't get to h3. Although this looks very miserable, but maybe there is no difference. I'm pretty sure that, I mean, there definitely was a point why I chose rook d1 and not this, but yeah, looking at it now, I can't really...
Yeah, we were kind of thinking that you provoked f4 voluntarily,
Yeah.
or... Yeah.
No, this is the thing, yeah, I definitely had a very clear reason why I felt rook d1 was much more precise, but I can't recall it anymore, and maybe it was a mistake. I mean, I did see that after f4 I have this g3 move, which probably wins me a pawn, because obviously he should never take on g3, and this is what he was kind of lamenting. We spoke after the game, and he was just...
King e6 here, yeah?
Yeah, king e6 or rook c8 on one of those moves. Yeah, I take. I mean, it's not an immediate draw. I can still put some pressure on him, but it's a game. The king will get to f5. I will have to create some play against the f7 pawn, I guess. I mean, king f5 will always be met by rook c7 also. Bishop g5 sometimes is a clever idea as well. So he will still have to show some moves, but compared to the game, of course, he has to go for this. Yeah, and in the game, I think this position is close to lost. Because if he goes rook g4, I think rook c7 is extremely strong, and then I will have even e6 ideas. e6 rook takes h7 later on. I thought it was horribly dangerous. And after bishop c6, rook d4, I think this very simple plan of just picking the h7 pawn up is more or less impossible to stop. I just couldn't see how he survives.
Yeah.
I get this very wrong. I thought after f4, g3 takes, okay, this is equal and should peter out, and then next time we looked, it was just checkmate. But
yeah, no, it was kind of weird, because it reminded me of a number of games I lost to Kramnik, in particular in Vike. I lost a number of those opposite color bishop positions. The one that everybody remembers is where I resigned in a drawn position, but I also lost the one which was very similar to this, where I lost two rooks and an opposite color bishop ending, where my king was very unsafe, and I had one opportunity to safeguard it, missed it, and just got mated. So nice to finally be on the right side of those endgames.
so things going well, 2.5 out of 3.
Yeah, it's mystifying.
But you did this working on chess trick again, no? You've confessed.
Well, I brought people who do that. Yeah, I can't lay claim to any work done myself, but I have brought some people who are doing work. Yeah, it seems to actually be a good idea. Surprisingly, yeah, I don't know.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, it's making me question my life decisions, but not very strongly, but somewhat question my life decisions.
Anyway, congratulations so far. Who do you consider your biggest rivals for tournament victory?
Come on, stop with this. Do we think this is winning eventually? I mean, this being Magnus, you kind of assume he will find a way, but...
We were impressed with Vichy hanging in there in what looked like such a disgusting position for a long time.
But frankly, you also probably shouldn't be getting a position like this in this line, because I tried playing this with White in the Bundesliga game against Tomaszewski. I understand I'm not Magnus and he knows what he's doing and I don't, but I was slightly worse after 15 moves with White in this line, and he clearly wasn't. I thought he was close to winning by move 15, which is kind of remarkable.
My theory is, and I could be very wrong, but it didn't make sense to me otherwise, that Vichy had prepared c4, e5, knight c3, bishop b4, which he sometimes plays. And if he goes to g3, knight f6, you sort of assume that the next move is bishop g2, because if not, there's no point.
And then he goes c6.
And this particular move, or the g3, knight f6, knight c3, caught him off guard, which would be strange since Magnus had the same position. But
yeah, but he played a5. He played a5, a4 instantaneously, more or less.
That's
so
true.
It slightly undercuts your theory, but it's possible.
Anyway, currently we don't see a win, but
well, I guess he
there's
wants to
also
go
no
before
draw.
b5, 95, 97, and But yeah, but then I guess the knight leaves the e8 square and the queen goes back to whatever square it is, e8 or.
Should you take here so at least you get a square?
I don't know.
But okay, it still looks very, very bad.
Yeah, it's not fun, and it's not the guy you want to be playing this position against, which is kind of relevant here. But no, I mean it will still require a lot of work to break down. But yeah, you kind of take Magnus in these cases.
How's this developing?
Yeah, I felt it got out of control, because it was so good. He didn't play h6.
Last we saw was this very mysterious rook f8 move.
Yeah,
We
and
were
after
expecting
h6 we didn't see a move.
Yeah, it's weird that when I came in and I realized the h pawns are gone, I honestly I tried to kind of think back and think if maybe Fabi somehow managed to squeeze h6, hg5, hg5 because yeah, it's difficult for me to understand why you would ever take on g6 here.
It's what we learned from Alpha Zero, no? h4, h5 is always to put the pawn on h6. Never to
Yeah,
take.
I guess maybe he didn't like rook takes f6, and what do you take with if you take on f6? Because normally you take with the queen and win the endgame, but maybe not with the pawn on c3, right?
Yeah.
So maybe this is what was worrying him.
Yeah, no, now already there is
After
rook
rook
a2
f1,
coming.
of course, it's a very different
Yeah.
ballgame.
Yeah.
We thought h6 here.
h6 just here and then go for the
f6,
endgame.
queen f6, and at least it doesn't look like you're losing the endgame.
No, I mean you're never losing. The question is sort of are you winning or is Black somehow going to hang on grimly?
And we have more visitors, so we need a very quick verdict who's winning and why.
I no longer have any idea what's going on here. Kind of, hoping Winston hangs on because kind of a crowd favorite. He would like probably to start scoring some points. Losing this position after the position he lost to Magnus would be extremely painful, I think.
Fair enough. Thanks a lot, Peter
Sure.
Svidler.